Good evening, everybody. Today's Math Mini lesson is on the relative values of digits. It's kind of a complicated title. We'll get into what that means in a minute, but if you want to pause the video now and title your next blank page in your math notebook, the relative value of digits, and then go ahead and restart after you have done that and get ready for your I do. Okay, so I want to first go back to what we did in the last lesson, just a quick reminder. We worked on multiplying by 10 and 100 and 1,000 and so on like that. And I want to do just a quick refresher on that in case it slipped your mind, because it's very important for this skill as well. So I want to take a number like, say, 80, and remind you if I multiply that by 10, kind of the shortcut to figuring out what that would be, you think about me picking up 80 tens blocks is what I did, 80 tens blocks. And the shortcut to find that answer is I kind of made my 80, and then I add one digit if I multiply by 10, 800, oh, I'm sorry, let me erase that, 80 times 100 gives me 80, and then everything moves over to place values from the times 100. 80 times 1,000. 80, 1, 2, 3. And I want to make sure you understand why that's the case. That we covered that in the last lesson, so I'm not going to go over it again. I just wanted to remind you the trick here. But if you don't remember why, that's just as important to this as just kind of knowing what to do. But this skill is going to be important in our lesson today as well. So when it comes to place value, I'm going to get asked some questions like this that I want to teach you how to answer. So let me pick a kind of a number. I'm going to use the I'm going to type it for you. Let's take the number 37,759. And now that number has two sevens in it. There are two, remember this is a number. Each of these is a digit, just as a quick reminder. And so this has two sevens in it. There's a 7 in the thousands place and there's a 7 in the hundreds place. And the question I want you to be able to answer with this relative value of digits is this. Is a question like, how many times greater is the value of the 7 in the thousands place than the other 7, than the 7 in the hundreds place? How many times greater is the value of the 7 in the thousands place, that's this one, than the 7 in the hundreds place, that's this one. So the first thing to do is to think about the values of those, right? This 7, this is a digit of 7 in the thousands place, but it doesn't have a value of 7. Since it's in the thousands place, it has a value of 7,000. And this 7, since it's in the hundreds place, it doesn't have a value of 7, it has a value of 700 because of the place that it's in. So my question, how many times greater is the value of this 7 than this 7? Well, this 7 has a value of 7,000, and I want to know how many times greater that is than this 700. So what would I have to multiply 700 by to get 7,000? Well, I need everything to move over one place, because I need one more 0 to get to 7,000. So I would multiply 700 by 10 to get to 7,000. 700 times 10 equals 7,000. So I know that the answer to the question is the 7 in the thousands place is 10 times greater in value than the 7 in the hundreds place. This 7 is worth 10 times more than this 7. Alright, so that's how that works. Let's do one in your notes. So I'm going to go on to We Do, open up your notebook. And again, with We Do, you can work along with me and wait along with me, or you can just work ahead on your own pace. So let's do the same kind of question with a new number. I'm going to take the number 24,374, and you'll notice that that number has two different 4s in it, right? It has a 4 in the ones place, and it has a 4 in the thousands place. And so I'm going to ask kind of the same question that I asked before, but I'm going to ask about the 4s. So here we go. It is, how many times greater is the value of the 4 in the thousands place, the greater 4, the 4 that is worth 4,000, right here, than the other 4, than the 4 in the ones place. So if you need to pause and even write this question down in your notes before we think about it, go ahead, pause, and just restart when you're ready. So I want to think about this question. How many times greater is the value of this 4 than this 4? So this 4 in the thousands place is not just a 4, it's in the thousands place, so it has a value of 4,000. Whereas this 4 in the ones place just has a value of 4 because it's in the ones place. It's only worth 4 ones. So what I'm asking is the 4,000, how many times greater is that than 4? That is 4 times what? How many times? Right? And so if you think back to our last lesson, we know how to multiply 4 to get 4,000, right? We know that that would have to be 4 times, I need 1, 2, 3 zeros at the end. So I'm going to have to multiply 4 by 1,000 because 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. So this 4 is 1,000 times greater in value than this 4, even though they're both 4s. So I guess the answer to the question, if you were to write it out kind of the long way, is the 4 in the thousands place has a 1,000 times greater value than the 4 in the ones place. I would have to multiply this 4 by 1,000 to get the same value as this 4. So we will do 2 more when you get to class tomorrow to check how your understanding of this is going. Finish this one up in your notes and make sure you come. If you need to go back and look at either of these again to make sure you understand it, please do that, and we'll carry this on tomorrow.